But the next thing is actually through remote robotics, which is kind of crazy to wrap your mind around. But literally, they want you to use blockchain. AI will throw up a job and say this job has to be done, and it's gig economy. Anyone in the world, because eventually they'll get to the point of like real-time natural language processing. Kid in, person in China, person in the Philippines, person in Poland, who can do this job cheap? And they have a robot that's off in their factory, and you just put your haptic gear on and you run the thing. And you're not supposed to learn the whole factory because you're only going to do it for this week, and you just know to push that button, do that part. And then you do it, and then that goes into your blockchain liker that you know how to do that. And so they've developed something called Sanctuary AI. That's Suzanne Gildert. She was from D-Wave Quantum Computing. It's based in Vancouver. They have these. There's another company called Synthium, which they have the Exosphere, which is literally what I just described. They have jobs that they'll throw up, and people compete for the job. And actually, you're competing against AI for the job. And the trick on that is that if a person gets the job, and this is sort of like, imagine they have these Kiwi bots that are last mile robots. They're not actually AI. The person like drives a remote robot cooler. It's a food delivery service. So, the person goes around the tree and they track all of your decision-making process, and then they give that to the AI. So the next time you compete, the AI knows the stuff you just did. So and it's a global AI brain, right? And so it's going at levels we can't imagine. And there's a person, his name is Richard Baldwin. He's out of an economics institute in Geneva. He has a TED Talk about it. And he just says, like, this next phase of globalization with telerobotics, we can't wrap our minds around how fast that's going to happen, because the physics of the metaverse are beyond our comprehension. Like, in the real world, with real physical goods, you have a thing where you have to get it like on the cargo ship, and you has to go across the ocean, has to get unloaded, or digital goods and services. You have to be, the person has to get on an airplane and fly to the place. When it's digital, it's like that. Like that week, that's gone. That doesn't happen. And so this capitalist growth, it's just faster and faster and faster. And so we're building this, we're allowing this to be built for the children. Like, that's why I'm here. It's a spiritual thing. And so I connected with some expat teachers in Tokyo. And one of them, he took his 3-year-old son to the lobby of this Moonshot Project.
The lobby of where?
The Moonshot Project in Tokyo. He went and he made videos. Like, I've been begging people to make these videos where they are. And he did. And he took in the stroller, and he must have had like a GoPro or something on it. And he pulled in, and he saw the Sustainable Development Goals in their beautiful rainbow colors. And he saw, there was a TV screen with all the kids in the VR headsets. And there's this lovely tufted leather bench, very high end. And I've been asking people to take dandelions, and he had a Ziploc bag of dandelions, and he just spoke to the camera, and he explained, and he said, I'm not doing this for my kid. Like, this is not how we're doing it. We're not. And it's just like a 10-minute video, but people don't know. And I think if they actually did know, and I can prove that this is what this plan, whether they can pull it off, I'm not convinced that they can actually pull off what they want to do, but somebody needs to hold them accountable.